Here's your boy Is, coming from you from the Hot Talk Show. I know last month was Women Month, and I'm late. I'm OD late. I'm sorry, so late, don't beat me up. But I want to show some highlights from the past 2 episodes from the women who was on the Hot Talk Show. They sure bring that spice. Are you ready? Check them out. If your man have a problem with you flirting, would you look at him overreacting, or like you just looking at you just being like that's just who you are?
I would respect it because anything we choose in life, we make a value judgment.
Right.
So I'm not gonna choose like some random dude over my dude. It's like, no, who's doing that? Mm-hmm. So it's really up to a choice. Like if you have a problem with it, or if my dude has a problem with it, right. It's not really worth it. And then, okay, let's break down what flirting is.
If you have a vibe, and as a woman, you know, you vibe, you say hello. It's different levels to flirting as well. So sometimes flirting is just innocent, like Tanine was just saying, like on a dance floor. Some guys may see that as flirting. We're dancers. I'm a dancer too. Okay. So if I go out and I'm having a good time and my energy is right, and the guy that I'm with, his energy doesn't match mine, and he's not dancing with me, I'm gonna dance. And if a guy is gonna come up to me because he's admiring the way I look and we're having a good time, I'm gonna dance with him. Now the man that I'm with might see that as flirting, and it might be a little flirty, but it's not that I'm cheating on him.
We can't hold to a standard that we never mutually agreed upon, period, even if we're just in a relationship. And if I never knew that you had these issues and boundaries, the thing is, like she said, that silent agreement thing is there, but it can cause an issue if it's not discussed. And I feel like adults should be able to discuss everything from the get-go. Like, we're adults, we're not here to play games. If I'm not here for a relationship and I'm not here to have to be locked in and I want to be free, we're here as friends.
We're friends.
So you can go, I can go this way, and we can come back together, and we can back up at the end of the night and maybe go home. Like, there's no limits here. Right. We got a no limit. But if we are in a relationship, there has to still be a discussion. Some people take their singlehood into relationships. I feel like that's the way I feel.
And I hope everybody can hear this. People bring their singleness into relationships. And one thing, if you're mature and you're grown and you're looking for something solid, you need to really find out if you want, because it goes on both sides, if you really made space to have somebody in your life. Did you make room for the person before they actually showed up? That's for the man and the woman. Is there space, or are you taking those same habits, behaviors, and attitudes into this new relationship?
Is it the difference between being too friendly and flirting, or is it the same thing?
I feel like it could be seen as the same thing. I feel like based on like what I said earlier about complimenting you every day, like if I saw you every day and I'm complimenting you every day, I feel like that could be seen as both too friendly and flirtatious. So I feel like when you're too friendly, it goes into the flirtatious side.
This girl is saying I look good and da da da. Like you get with somebody, you let somebody feel good about themselves. Meanwhile, you're in a relationship and you showing another guy or woman, yo, like you cute, you da da da. I like you in this dress, in this suit. So you can make her think, yo, like shorty like you.
But see, that's why I said the border comes in. If you're doing it every day, definitely. That's what I was saying earlier. If I'm commenting on you every day, what you look like, of course you're going to be going to feel like, okay, she's trying to give me the green light to come in here and take it further. But if it's, like I said, if it's a one-time thing, one compliment, or it's random, it's here and there, then I feel like that's okay.
To me, it's all about individuality because it depends on what you consider flirting.
Okay, so
technically, it depends on what you consider flirting. It depends on who you are flirting with, because that also it has to play a factor as well. Because if it's somebody you're really interested in, you flirting could also be shooting your shot.
Right, exactly.
If it's really, really innocent, like you just like a simple compliment, the receiver could be taking it too far as well. Like just because you speak to somebody nowadays, they can consider it a whole relationship. You don't know. Well, first of all, let me just say this. Me and my sissy had a conversation just about last week about this whole topic about flirting, titles, and I didn't know.
Oh, Lord. Lord.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't consider having a conversation flirting. being in a relationship and when you're having a conversation, it depends on how that kind of conversation is going. Like, you can converse with somebody and always make it known that you're in a relationship. When you make that known, sometimes that conversation or the person who might have thought you were flirting will take your conversation a whole different way. She's just having a conversation. I could come into a new job and it can be 3 guys, 2 girls. Just because I ask you, oh, so who are you? What's your name? Doesn't mean I'm flirting with you. That means that I'm trying to get to know who my coworker is. Let me get your number. Because if I'm late, I need to call you. Or because I don't want management to know that I'm going to be late. But he might be thinking, oh, she's interested in me. She asked me for my number. No, you seem like the coolest. You seem like the one that I could say, okay, listen, I'm going to be late. Punch me in. Like,
Right.
you understand?
Hi, everybody. This is Selena.
Thank you for having me tonight. Glad to be with you guys.
Should a woman propose to a man?
I feel that if he's ready to marry you,
Right.
he will ask.
But why is it important for the guy to ask?
It's important for him to ask because he knows that I am not going to ask him to marry me, and he may or may not be ready. I solely feel that if a man wants you in that way, he's going to say it.
Yes.
He's going to do and say any and everything necessary to make sure, like you guys say, secure the bag.
Right.
He wants
exactly.
to secure her, secure the woman, secure his queen. And if he doesn't ask the question, I don't care if you've been together 15 years and if you guys never discussed it. If he doesn't ask the question, he's not ready to ask the question. It's not about fear at that point. Fear is now out the window because you've been in this relationship with this person for X amount of time. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 months. He's going to know when he's ready to marry you. And he's going to start moving accordingly.
I'm not someone who's going to propose to my partner. I just want to say that. However, I also want to say that I'm not a traditional person either, which is why I have the view that I have. You know, like, I'm the breadwinner in my household. I handle things a certain way, so I see things differently. If I know somebody, if one of my friends comes to me and they want to propose to the person they're with, it's not my place to tell them that they should be doing that. Part of that is not everybody lives by the Bible. Of course, there's some people who do, where you're going to go by the fact of whatever you believe the Bible says, which is a man should propose to a woman. Not everyone lives by that. So if you don't live by that and that's what you want to do, I'll give that person my blessing if I believe that person has been good, that man has been good to that woman. But it's not my place to tell that woman she should not be proposing to a man. You've been with someone maybe 2 years or something like that, and you know you want to propose. That man might want the same thing, but don't know how you're going to respond. So if you decide that you want to do that and you have the freedom in yourself to want to do that, because a lot of women don't do things because of criticism and the generalizations we have now, go do what you have to do. That's the way that I see it.
Now, when it comes to the heterosexual relationships, I feel like a woman should not propose to a man, right? I feel like, in a sense, you're demasculating a man by getting down on one knee and asking him for hand in marriage. Now, I mean, I get what the lady that came on prior to me said. Like y'all say, it's 2020, so things are different. Roles definitely has changed and interchanged, or whatever the case may be, throughout the years, which is cool. It's understandable. And again, I piggyback when I say I would never tell nobody, nah, I probably would tell you crazy for doing it. That's just me. I'm gonna be honest. But at the same time, that's a man's obligation, because one, you got to go to the father or the mother or whomever that asks for that hand in marriage. You understand what I'm saying? That's not a female's job. Yeah, hell yeah, bro. My sister. Listen, my sister's fiance had to ask my father to marry my sister. People still do that. But for them, they're Christian, so I understand that too. I don't live by the Bible, but I do understand, as far as that, I understand that as a respect thing. If I have a daughter, or you have a daughter, and your daughter is with a guy, and you may feel like that man is not worth your daughter getting down on one knee and marrying. But you would want that man to come to you and talk to you and let you know, like, you know, what he has and what's his intention of being with your daughter.
The dynamics of communication in a relationship.
You should be able to have a conversation about how you want to communicate. Do I feel we have mastered that? Absolutely not. I actually feel like we are in the learning curve of it at this point. And I think it's because of that reason. We've been so busy talking at each other. And I think to speak to the point of when we are going at it, it's little Nimzia versus little Walter in the room.
Yes.
And that's who shows up. That's who comes to war. Big Nimzia wants to resolve the issue, but little Nimzia has been fed way longer and has been marinating way longer. So I've been handling things, even though I have a clear understanding of how to communicate. When it comes to emotion, she is the most powerful one, and she's the one that has to be I have to submerge her in order for he and I to have effective communication. And I do believe that another thing that most people don't bring up, and it's something that I feel I just concluded, is that your learning style has a lot to do with how you take in information from your mate.
That's good.
I am a visual learner.
Right.
If my husband is speaking to me in details, all I hear is blah, 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 blah. But when because he learns how to do it now, he creates a storyline. When he uses words, I get it and I understand it. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. But I got to speak in her language. Yeah, and I get it. And for him, he needs all the details. And I'm like, damn, now I got to list. So what happens? I hit the point. So when we argue,
Detail oriented.
yes,
Detail oriented.
yes,
You're more visual.
yes.